Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. My name's Osirus, and in today's video we're going over how you can easily shiny hunt the Kalos starters in Pokémon Legends Z-A. Now early in your playthrough you can obtain the Kalos starters, that's Froakie, Fennekin and Chespin. These are all through side missions that come available as you progress in the early parts of the game. Fortunately, all of these side mission Kalos starters are actually shiny locked, so to get them shiny you're going to have to progress through the game a little bit further and unlock some of the later wild zones. When you do eventually hit rank C, that's after you complete main mission 24, that will unlock wild zones 16 and 17. Wild zone 16 gives you access to catch Froakie, and wild zone 17 gives you access to catch Chespin. You're going to then have to progress the game a little bit further, completing main mission 30, which takes you to rank B, and that unlocks wild zone 18, which then gives you access to Fennekin. With access to all three of these wild zones, you're going to be able to shiny hunt all of the Kalos starters in these areas. And naturally, because these are starter Pokemon, they are going to be a little bit more tricky to shiny hunt in these areas than maybe some of the other Pokemon that populate them. But we've got plenty of methods that we're going to be going over in today's video to make it as easy as possible so you can get the shinies in-game as soon as possible. Right, over in-game, the first thing that we're going to be doing is going after Chespin. That is located down in Wild Zone 17. You're going to also get Klefki, Lampent, Skarmory, Pyro, and Diggersby in here alongside that Chespin. Now, it's important to note for all of the hunts that we're doing today, if you're wanting alpha shinies or the possibility of an alpha shiny, complete 100% the wild zone. So catch every Pokemon in the wild zone. That'll then free up the ability for you to actually get access to alphas outside of just the static alphas that appear in these zones. But before we head down there, come to any bench, we want to start with a brand new day. We don't want a day-night cycle kind of interrupting the Chespin hunt initially, because there is a little bit of setup to get the most optimal approach to this shiny hunt. It's not going to take long if you follow along with the video, and it's going to make life so much easier for actually getting access to the Chespin as well. So once that day-night cycle goes through, you're going to be in a good spot to start this hunt, and we'll head down to Wild Zone 17. Now when you're at this area, you come through the gate, this will be the entrance, and what you'll notice is dirt mounds on the grass in front of you. You normally have 3. Do we have 3 in here? We've only got 2 at the moment. So in these holes, you're going to see Diggersby and maybe a Chespin as well. So when you've only got 2, the chances of getting a Chespin are pretty slim in this area. You're more than likely going to get Diggersby, which if you've come to this area before, you'll know. And with only 2 there, like I say, it's not giving you the best odds to shiny hunt these at all. So what you want to do is increase these dirt mounds that are there, which will then increase the amount of opportunities for Chespin to spawn in this area. And we can do that with a simple trick. So you want to just enter the wild zone, have a Pokemon at the ready that is going to be able to either hit with strong ground, rock, or water type moves, because we are going to be going up to the next level. This is on 2 levels, this area. And as you know, there is an absolute mass of Pyro in this area that we're going to have to get rid of before we do anything else. So let's just get a bulk up off and then start earthquaking, because these Pyro need to be gone as soon as possible. The most aggro Pokemon in the game, I would say. Why have I bulked up again? Come on, Crocodile. Right, let's get this earthquake. Final earthquake. Gets rid of all of them. Okay, that's great. Now, there is a Skarmory floating around in here as well somewhere. Right, let's get this earthquake. Final earthquake. Gets rid of all of them. Okay, that's great. Now, there is a Skarmory floating around in here as well somewhere. That should be all right. That's not really going to interrupt with our setup too much. Once you've got rid of all of the Pyro in this area, now we're good to go. Now we're good to set up. We've got about 3 minutes to do this until the Pyro spawn back in. So what we want to do is come back down to this area, the lower area where the entrance is, and we want to get all of the Pokemon out of these mounds. Now we've got 3, which is great. So we've got Diggersby there. Hopefully they're all Diggersby there. A bit easier to move than Chespin. So yeah, all 3 Diggersby. Get their attention. And so you've got the red icon above your head, and you just want to lure them up the stairs. And what we're essentially doing here is taking them away from their original spawn points. Any of them stay in the background here, just go back and get them, aggro them again, and then bring them with you, and then bring them up the stairs. Because basically what we're doing is they will have a tether, and what we're doing is breaking that tether, or breaking the leash it's called. And you want to just keep an eye on that red icon that red icon, as soon as that disappears, that's kind of the moment when you want to drop a save. So we'll drop that. We'll reboot the game completely and then come back into it. Now, what you're going to notice when you come back in is the Diggersby are now located on this upper level. We want to get their attention again because we're going to be moving them a little bit further towards the door area down here. So just get their attention and just start moving, and they should follow you all in sync. If one lags behind, go back for it, and then just come back down to the door. They're going to spontaneously use things like Earthquake. Bounce is a great move if they use it, because it means that they're going to like hop in the air and then come straight after you. This one's playing ball. This one is not so much. Come on, come right down. Be careful when you're going through the gate though. If any of them are using bounce, then they can end up on the other side of the wild zone door, which would mean you're going to have to start this again. Just go out and recover and see if we've pulled them down far enough. Not one at the back though. And exactly this point, if this happens to you and it's outside, it's going to be difficult to get it back in. It's easier just to reboot your game and come back into it and start the process again, bring them back down to the gate. So funny, I'm telling you exactly what not to do and be careful not to do, and I go ahead and do it. So I want them to use close range attacks. Takedown is great. Right, that's fantastic. And there we go. Okay, finally, as soon as you're out the gate, the red eye will disappear automatically. Drop a save, close the game down, and just reboot once again. So back in game now, you'll see all the Diggersby are going to be on the other side of the gate, which is exactly where we want them. But we want to be a bit quick about what we're doing now, because those pyro will be spawning in pretty quickly. We want to drop a pin right where they are, and we're going to be moving a distance of about 65 meters. I haven't got my pin. The pin's not there, so we want to just move it just beside the gate and just move away from them. 65 meters is the distance. It's between 60 and 70. I always feel a good middle ground, 65, 66 is fine. When you get to this distance, we're going to just drop a save. We're going to just repeat the process, and we're going to just close our game and reboot one more time. Essentially, what is happening when we're doing this process is we are basically taking these Diggersby away from their original spawn points. We're kind of breaking the leash or the tether that they've got to those original spawn points. By moving away from the wild area like we just have done, we're keeping them in the kind of spawned radius, in that 70-meter radius where they don't despawn, but everything in the wild zone despawns. So now when we go back, the Diggersby should be on the other side of the gate again, still there, which they are. And now we're going to be able to bring them back down to their original area. So just get their attention, move slowly away, and they should follow you like good little bunnies. Come on, bunnies. Keep going and watch for that red eye disappear. And as soon as it does, drop a save again. And we are nearly good to go. But we're basically pulling them into a new spawn point from the gate after we've kind of tethered that original spawn point. And now, when we bring them back, we should have additional holes in this area, which we should see when we boot into the game now. So if you see, we've got 2 additional holes in the area now, you know, with the bunnies. We got all 3 up here. There's the 3rd one. Here it is. Come on, we need to bring them all down into this area. Right, that's all 3 there outside the gate. Quickly go outside, drop another save. This will be the final save that we'll do, and then we'll close again and reboot the game one more time. And now all we need to do with the Diggersby back in this area is we just need to fast travel back to this wild zone. And that's going to kind of reset all of the spawns that are in here. It'll count the spawns that are there that we've taken away and then brought them back. They'll register those. And now when you look at the holes in this area, we should have more than the 3 that we originally had. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is great. You can get 6 in total, but 5 is kind of normal. I don't know which side or which hole it is that we'd need to take from to get that additional one, but 5 is better than 3 and even better than 2. So in here now, you're going to have, hopefully, yep, there's 1 Chespin, Diggersby, 2 Chespin, and so 2 Chespin, which is great. And that's going to be pretty much guaranteed. Wow, and Alpha Diggersby as well. So we should have 2 Chespin every time that we do fast travel back to this point now, which is great. I think if you do get the 6, then you've got a guaranteed 3 Chespin, 3 Diggersby in this area, which is even better, of course. But with 2 Chespin guaranteed each time, which it wasn't guaranteed before because it could all just be Diggersby, but there should always be 2 Chespin now, as you're going to see. And I guess there'll be a chance for even 3 Chespin as well. So now it's set up. Now we're good to go. These aren't going to go away either unless you knock them out or catch the Pokemon from these mounds. When you do that, it will go back down to the original 3. But as long as we've got these 5 halls here, we're going to be able to use the fast travel method. And that's basically a little bit of setup that you can do to maximize the shiny hunt here. And now you're just going to be fast traveling to this area over and over and over again until you see the halls shine. Once you get a shiny in one of the mounds, just remember that you're not going to be able to get anything other than what is shiny because of how the game saves shinies. If it's a Diggersby in one of those holes, you'll have to go in and then you're going to have to do the process to increase the amount of mounds again, unfortunately. So it might be worth waiting until a couple of the holes are shiny in this area. Catch them. If it's not the Chespin, then repeat the initial process again and then start the process of fast traveling back to this wild area over again until you do get that shiny Chespin. Now, I set this up on this version of the game that I've got, which is complete on my Switch 1, and also my Switch 2 version, which has just got to rank C. So I've got available this Wild Zone and the one for Froakie, and I did this consecutively on both of them. The shiny charm I've got on this version. And after about half an hour, I got a shiny Chespin in this area, which is amazing. And it's one of my favorite starter shinies. It really is. I just love the colors of it. I think it's a great shiny, and I can't wait to get our hands on the Chestnut to be able to use this. But the interesting thing was the full odds game that I had on my Switch 2. And because the load times there are probably a little bit quicker, it does mean that we're probably going to get through more spawns in a shorter period of time. But I did get 2 Chespin in the same area with the same amount of holes with the base odds. So 1 in 4096. So this method of increasing the mounds in the area does give you better chances of finding a Chespin. And like I say, once you've done this, you've got a controller that can set up a macro. You can set up this, leave it to run, or you can just do it manually and then come in every now and again and just check the holes and see what you've got. But you're guaranteed to get 2 Chespin. We got 3 this time. So yeah, this method is definitely the way to hunt Chespin in this area. So hopefully when you come to do it, you'll be able to get yourself a shiny Chespin. And if you're going for the shiny alpha, then this is a possibility. If you're going for the alpha though, just remember that you have to 100% complete the wild zone, catch all the Pokemon in it. By doing that, it allows you then to find alphas of these species in this area. So good luck with the shiny Chespin. We'll now move on to Froakie. Now, Froakie's a little bit easier and a little bit more frustrating at times. It is going to appear in Wild Zone 16, and in the center of this area is a Froakie. But for this hunt, we are going to be traveling to Wild Zone 5. We're not going to be primarily hunting Pokemon in this area, but you might get spillover of additional shinies from these areas, because what we're going to be doing, it's a very simple method to do. We turn around from the gate of Wild Zone 5, you can see this is Wild Zone 16, right next door to each other. And the nice thing about this fly point is we are in a 50-meter radius of that Froakie and everything that we're seeing in front of us here, including this Alpha Ampharos. So if we just move to the side a little bit, up on the monument in the center, there is the Froakie. You're only going to get 1 in this area, but the way that we hunt this is pretty simple. We just stand here again and we just fast travel to Wild Zone 5, and we just do this continually. By doing this in that 50-meter radius, despawning and respawning every time, it means that we're checking and respawning a lot of Pokemon in a very, very short period of time. If you're doing this on a Switch 2, it's way quicker than a Switch 1, and you just continually do this for a set amount of time, say 15 minutes, say half an hour. You could do it when you're watching something as well, and then you come back, turn around, you check the Pokemon in this area, and bear in mind that you're going to get spillover of Blaffy, you're going to get the Ampharos, you've got the Medicham down here, which actually at night, if you want a Starmie or a Barbacle, they turn into those Pokemon. So if either of those shiny and you say, oh, well, I want a shiny Starmie, just turn day to night and they will turn into the other Pokemon and be shiny forms of those. You're going to get phalanx as well in this area, and then you're going to get spillover in Wild Zone 5 as well. The amount of Pokemon I've caught in here that when doing this process is crazy. So Bellsprout is going to be in that radius. You're going to get Bunnelby, you're going to get Venipede as well in this area. So there are a bunch of Pokemon up on the roof as well. Pidgeotto up there as well as Abra. So they are Pokemon that can spill over. You can get as additional shinies doing this. So I did this for about 2 hours the other day on my not complete non-shiny charm version of this. And when I finished, I had so many shinies. And as you can see, when I check through the fence here, there's a shiny Froakie, and I couldn't believe it. So that's the base odds, 1 in 4096. So even if you don't have the shiny charm, this is going to be a really quick method to be able to get the Froakie. And on top of that, I got the shiny Alpha Ampharos, got a shiny Falafi, changed day to night. I got a shiny Starmie as well, changed one of the Metachamps to that, shiny Phalanx. And then we came into Wild Zone 5 and we got the Bellsprout and Pidgeotto as well, which was amazing. So all of those extra shinies on top just by doing this method for a pretty short amount of time. Now, the one thing I would say with the Froakie is it is super skittish. You've got to be very careful how you approach it. And just make sure you drop a save before you encounter it. So if you walk down to the monument area in the middle, it will just jump off and then it will despawn, it'll be gone. So just bear that in mind. One of the best methods that I found was kind of walking around the outside and coming in towards the monument from the side when it wasn't looking at us. So kind of sneaking up on it and then dropping a save there and then trying to snipe it with a Pokeball back shot gives us the best opportunity to get it. Now, the other option is you just run straight at it and you've got one chance to throw a Pokeball at it as it's in the midair. Just make sure you choose the best Pokeball that you want it in before you do this. I unfortunately didn't think about this. Chucked the first thing that was selected in my options, which was a Pokeball. So I ended up with the Froakie in a Pokeball, which wasn't the most ideal, but we did manage to get it in a pretty short amount of time. So it's very simple, just fast traveling method to Wild Zone 5, and you're going to get all of these other shiny Pokemon as well as that shiny Froakie. And hopefully, if you complete the 100% in the Wild Zone, you're going to have the chance for an Alpha to pop up in this area, and it's going to be as easy as that. So good luck with that hunt, friends. If you did manage to get the Alpha Froakie, which is just an incredible shiny, especially for that Alpha Mega Greninja, that would be awesome. Do let me know down in the comment section below, and I will love to hear how your progress is getting on with this hunt. So the third and final Kalos starter that we're going to be going after is going to be Fennekin. Now this is in Wild Zone 18, and this doesn't become available until a little bit later in your playthrough. You're going to have to get to rank B, and that's after completing main mission 30 in game. So Fennekin and Wild Zone 18 only become available at this point. In here, you're going to get Noibat, you're going to get Noivern, you're going to get Swablu, Altaria, and Bagon, and there's an Alpha Salamence here as well as an Alpha Lopunny. So there's lots of Pokemon in this area that you're going to be able to get. Now, when you head here, it's not in the main entrance that we'll be coming into and doing the hunt for Fennekin. Fennekin, a bit like the Froakie, there is only going to be one Fennekin spawn in this area at a time, so it does make it a little bit more tricky. So what we're going to do is come in, and then there's an alleyway directly to our left. We're going to take this up here, and then we're going to come past the Alpha Lopunny, and we're going to head out this gate, and then we're going to make our way up the scaffolding. So if you followed any of my guides on the best routes for Mega Shard farming, you'll know this route by now, and this will take you to an alternative gate for Wild Zone 18, and this is where we're primarily going to be located to do this hunt. And this hunt really is pretty AFK as well. So if you do have that turbo controller, if you do have a macro programmable controller, you're going to be able to do this pretty effectively and leave it to kind of run, because this one is going to take a little while. As you can see up on the roof over here on the other side of this zone, there is the Fennekin, and that's the only place it will spawn. And it's, I think, even a hard one because it's such a skittish Pokemon, it will just run off. So I don't know if there's even a way to increase the spawn numbers in this area for that. If we ever figure it out, that would be amazing. It would make this hunt so much easier. Down below, just an Alpha Salamence, and then Bagon are going to be in the area surrounding down here. They are all hit by this method that we're going to be hunting. You've got the Swablu and the Altaria, which turn into Noiva and Noibat during the night. You've got the Alpha Lopunny over here. And one more I'm going to just point out that is worth checking when you do this method is an Eevee over here. So where are you, Eevee? Is it because it's turned to dusk that you've disappeared? Because you only appear during the day. So when it's during the day, make sure you come up here and just occasionally check. Now we're going to be using this bench up on this rooftop area. It's located here on the map, just on the top of the building in Magenta Sector 9, just outside of Gate 18 up on the roof. And all we're going to be doing, and it's so easy, is just using the bench reset method. And this is probably the best method to shiny hunt the Fennekin. You're going to end up with a lot of additional shiny Pokemon though. There are other areas as well where you can go and check for Kakuna, Pidgey, and Eedles as well. And there is a Trubbish as well that you're going to be able to see in the alleyways that leads to the Quasartico building. So it's worth just checking around the area. If you leave this running, if you've got a rubber band, you can hold down the analog stick with the rubber band, keep it in place so it's pointing down, and then if you've got turbo functionality on your controller, you can just set that away and it's just going to spam A and continually do this. Again, if you've got a Switch 2, this is going to be way quicker on that system to cycle through the days and nights, but it isn't impossible on your Switch 1. I've done this hunt twice now for a shiny Fennekin. First time was pretty easy. I was actually going after the shiny Alpha Salamence down below. That was the target. I ended up with the Fennekin rather than the Salamence pretty early on. But this time around, of course, I did go for the Fennekin, ended up with the Salamence first. I did manage to get it. It did take quite a while. It was probably, I would say, 7 or 8 hours in total of doing the bench method. So I was a bit unlucky. I've heard other people get it way quicker. I got it the first time around very quick. And when you do check after you've done the resets, just make sure that you're checking the other Pokemon in the areas as well. And if you do get that Fennekin, make sure to go and get it as soon as possible. So you can see here, after our day cycle skips for a very long period of time, we check and the Fennekin on the roof over the fairway is shiny and it looks incredible. So you've got to be very careful. Make sure when you come over here that you drop a hard save before you encounter it. Now I would climb up on the ladder and then I would immediately kind of crouch down as soon as I jump up onto the rooftop. And then this is where I would drop that hard save, because as soon as it spots you, it is going to run off. So you're going to have to reboot the game and then try and get it each and every time. Make sure you've got the right Pokeball selected. This one took me a few attempts to get right. Just be patient with it. But you've got that hard save, so don't worry. You can just restart your game, reboot it, come back in, try to catch it again. When you eventually manage to, you're going to have all 3 of these Kalos starters, and they're all going to be shiny and ready and waiting to be used as Mega Pokemon when that final Mega Stone becomes available. Of course, now you can use the Greninja and the Delphox, but we'll have a little bit of a longer wait for the Chestnut. But that is basically how you get all 3 Kalos starter Pokemon shiny very easily in your copy of Pokémon Legends Z-A. And most of the hunts that I've done have been on my Switch 2, which hasn't got the shiny charms. So those base odds 1 in 4096 going to be easy for you to kind of apply this in game. There's just a little bit of progress that you're going to have to do into that playthrough to get to the rank C and then rank B to unlock all of the zones where these Pokemon are huntable. And then from there, you're going to be able to just apply the methods that we've done in today's video, maximize your chances to get them using the methods, and then hopefully doesn't take you any time at all to get those shiny Kalos starters in your copy of Pokemon Legends Z-A. If you found today's video helpful, please consider dropping a like on the video. It does really help. Do subscribe to the channel as well to stay up to date with all of our Pokemon Legends Z-A content. If you've got shiny hunts that you would like to see me cover on the channel, let me know down in the comment section below. I've got a bunch lined up, but I would love to hear what you would like to see featured, what hunts you would like to prioritize over other ones, and we'll try and match up what you guys would like to see in the next few weeks. I'll leave it there, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you all in another video very soon. So until then, take care and bye-bye.